Hello guys and welcome back to another reaction. Yeah, today is a Patreon reaction. Well, you can probably tell by the title that it's a Patreon reaction. But it's a video called Top 10 Hopes for the MLP G5 TV Show by MLP Fever. And yeah, I assume these two characters right here are gonna talk about what they hope is gonna happen for MLP G5. So I guess I could talk a little bit about... There's only one thing I hope for when it comes to G5. And that is, I hope it's good. That's the only thing I have. I will, and then in that category, there are a bunch of subcategories of what that entails. But I don't want it to be exactly like a G4. I want it... especially not the later seasons of G4. The later seasons of G4 were horrific. And I mean, the last season was one of the last two seasons was some of the worst, like, animated entertainment I've ever experienced in my life. But I wouldn't even want it to be like season 1 and 2, which are like amazing. I still wouldn't want it to be exactly like that. I want it to be its new thing, which is why I wasn't that happy when I find out that, it's set in the same world as G4. It's just, who knows how far into the future. But we'll see. I didn't like the movie that much. I mean, the movie for me was a 5 out of 9. So it was just right in the middle. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just meh. Okay. I would say there's just as much things I enjoyed as I disliked. But one big part I really didn't like about the movie was that there was no character development. Like, I mean, if you were to ask me, what's the name of the characters? Like, fuck. Do I remember? Okay, let me try. Was someone called Sprout, I think? And even though I like the main, like, girl, the main... Oh, fuck, what's her name? The main... Like, the Twilight of the group, that is like an earth pony. I liked her. I don't remember her name, though, so... So I hope in the series we'll get, the first few episodes are gonna be like how it was in G1. Not G1, well, G4. I mean season 1 of G4. That we get to learn more about the characters, what they like, what they dislike, how their relationship dynamic work with each other, not just as a whole group, but 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, like... So that's what I want. I want more character building, basically. So, let's see what these two people think.
It's Cleo here, and today I'm joined by... Hello!
Okay, I could barely hear. I'm just gonna... increase the audio.
Hello everyone, it's Cleo here, and today I'm joined by...
Mary Nom Nom!
We're going to be discussing the top 10 things we want to see in the upcoming G5 series. They're making some 44-minute specials.
I guess his name is Nom Nom.
And 22-minute episodes each time for a whole series, so there's a lot to go at. But these are our main hopes, so we're going to be starting with number 1.
Quality stories.
Oh, well, yes.
Cleo and I were talking about it, and we would.
I
like
agree.
To see
I want quality stories, good
continuity,
stories.
maybe like in G4.
Specifically,
just
stories that are good
intriguing
to
stories,
me.
Maybe something overarching, but overall, just good writing. Just something good, which does seem like it has a decent possibility of happening since the movie was good.
While stories can be
It was
good without
okay.
necessarily having any particular intrigue, like some of the cute slice of life stories from G4, I think what this series really needs to get people more invested is more stories that are intriguing, like the Canterlot Weddings 2-part special of G4's
Yes.
Queen Crystals. A lot of people jumped in on the fandom at that point because of how intriguing that story was.
Yeah, I mean, Hasbro has
don't know.
stated
I
how
never
they
took part
recognize that
in the
children
fandom.
of kind of their target demographic now, as
It was
opposed to
just
10 years
for
ago,
myself.
do seem to be
Don't
more
really tend to care
emotionally
what other
intelligent
people
and
think of
demand kind of a
entertainment.
higher bar of quality. So at least they are aware that they need to do something a little bit more.
Number 2 of what we want to see is fitting animation, and by that we mean something actually good.
Because
Yeah.
no one wants it to have something look like, I don't know, modern CGI Thomas the Tank Engine. You know, that's the last thing we want.
Yeah, no.
I think honestly,
And I
we're
wonder
better off
how
with
the
it
animation is
looking
going to be.
two-dimensional
If
and
it
more
is
for
like the
example,
movie,
the
I'll
G4
say
show or
that's
the
really
G4
good.
movie.
Maybe
That
like
would
the movie,
probably be
but
for the
like
best.
a
I think
lowered
we
quality.
did hear something or other about it being 3D animation, the show, but I don't remember if that was like an actual press release thing or how far back it was. Mostly, I
okay.
just don't want the show to look like Miraculous Ladybug, but that is a distinct possibility.
Yeah, it just would seem like a very noticeable drop from the movie because the movie quality is so high for the animation. We would rather not see a massive drop and see something just
I mean,
different for it.
there
So it's
is
not
going
such a
to be
direct
a drop.
comparison.
Number
Between a
3,
movie and a
character
series.
development, specifically for Zip and Pip. Just more characterization for Zip.
Character
and Pip.
development, I completely agree.
Also different
These two
character dynamics.
characters,
We have not seen Pip
okay,
and Izzy
Zip and
interact.
Pip.
Maybe we actually
I guess
saw
those
them in
two
the background
sisters.
talking to each other, but I can't think of a time where Pip and Izzy have ever said anything to each other. So we've got 10 different duos you can extract from the main 5 characters, and there's 10 different kind of trios you can extract from them. So there's a lot of potential there.
What we also want to see is that
Okay,
each of the
good.
characters, all 5 of them, not just 3 of them like in the film, have some kind of goal, something they want to work towards, some kind of ambition, some kind of direction for them.
I agree.
Because
There's
throughout
not
the
much to
series,
say,
you need to
like,
have quite a lot of progression
character
for a
studies
character
and all
before it
that.
becomes very boring. Number 4, we would like
I want
see
to know more about the
adorable
characters.
little animal friends.
Specifically, the crab and the 2 seagulls that follow Hitch around, who were the 3 best characters
Like,
in the entire film.
They were
I
the
don't
stars of the
care.
show. So while those are also super adorable, I would like to see more of them. It would also, as a very specific point here, I'd love to see
I
more
mean,
little
they are
animal
going to
friends
be in the
because little
show.
dot eyes are just so adorable.
Also, I
But I
personally
don't
would
like
to
how
see
the animals
just how
look.
far they push the idea that every animal in Zephyr Heights has wings, like winged dogs and winged rats. Number 5, diversify
turtles.
geography, because we haven't really heard of ponies who don't live in the 3 main areas that have already been shown, and they're not massive kingdoms, they're
Yeah.
towns.
They're
Actually, I
tiny.
think they describe, in this song that Sprout sings, it's described as a village. Maritime Bay.
It's not a large place. I would say that the largest place looks to be Zephyr Heights, but even then, that's like a city-state. There's just not a lot of people. Either we see a few places outside of the 3 locations in the movie, or this is a very small place.
Yeah, I mean, they're
It does
most
feel
likely
ridiculous
going to
as well,
do
whereas
it.
we have 2 villages in one city.
Maybe
and if
not in the
that's it,
first
that's every
season,
pony's ever lived.
but
We are asking seriously, what kind of apocalypse came before this?
they are
Perhaps
most
a mass
likely.
extinction event, like in
Maybe ponies have
that's in
become
the
more,
continent now.
I don't think they have to necessarily do it in a
Small
complex way,
villages,
find, like, a
but
secret
more of
society
them.
living underground,
Most
like the
likely.
Time Machine or anything crazy like that.
No.
Literally just showing more places where they know of other Earth ponies living, for example. Like, for example, if they say, oh yeah, my family over in whichever made-up pony town it is.
Yeah, as an example, there's a lighthouse. Sunny lived in a lighthouse. There was a lighthouse in Maritime Bay, which would imply that at some
Naval
point ponies
traveling.
did have boats. There must be some ponies living somewhere.
Number 6 would really like to have the original voice cast back, and by that, of course, I don't mean
And also,
G4
you know,
characters coming back,
trade
I
and
do
stuff.
just mean the actors from the film reprising their roles. Nobody likes a recast. It's really noticeable and uncomfortable because most actors, if they're doing a good job, they're making the character kind of their own, a bit of
Which
themselves
is
in it,
most likely
unless
going
you
to
get a
happen, which is
particular
why
impressionist to
I did
copy
not like
everything about
that they are
person.
starting
It's very,
this
very
series
difficult
with
to
the
get people on
movie.
board with a recast. I think it's likely that the main cast will come back.
Yeah.
I don't think
Hopefully
so.
for everybody,
I
but
don't think they're gonna spend the
not sure.
money
Number
for
7, I want to
that
see more
cast.
musical numbers. I would love for
Even
the
though I think I
series
only
and the
recognize
specials
one
to
name.
also be musicals because there's nothing
Mo-
cuter than
probably-
a singing pony.
They're probably just
I
gonna
want them
hire
to be
people that
show
sound
tunes.
alike.
I don't care really what it's about, who's singing it, just as long as somebody gets more songs, because I think that is at least 50% of why people like G4 so much. It's the songs.
Yeah.
No.
Just don't make it more
Not
random pop
50%.
songs.
The
in
songs are
background
good
like
in
you make it
G4,
ponies singing. It
especially in
doesn't
the
count if
earlier
it's not ponies
seasons.
singing, it has to be a show tune. Thank you very much.
But I would not
Number
say
8, to see the
50%.
ponies' houses.
They are
Where
not
is Sunny
common
living?
enough
Where
to
is
make
Zip
up
and Pip living? If the royal family
such a
hasn't
high.
been kind of reinstated in Zephyr Heights, then they're just as homeless as Sunny is. Where are they living?
Well, I guess they can fly now. Maybe that means they're allowed to be princesses and a queen again.
Maybe.
But they never explain where Sunny's going to live.
No, where is Sunny going to live? We know that Izzy has a house. We've seen it, and also we know that
Just
Hitch has a paid-off
rebuild
mortgage, so,
the home?
so he has
I
a
don't
house.
know.
So she's got friends she could stay with, but where exactly is Sunny living? Because we don't have a confirmation on anything.
I
The
mean,
most obvious follow-up to the movie would be Sunny rebuilding her house.
yeah.
Maybe the first
With the
special
help
can be
of
about
the
Sunny
townsfolk.
crashing with Hitch until she has a new house built.
Number 9 would like to see new villains.
Ideally,
Especially
more,
now when they have magic
more
and flight and all that
intimidating
stuff.
Than Sprout.
And now, unlike a lot of people, I actually do like Sprout. I thought he was funny. But he's not much of a villain. He's not really much of a major threat. I mean, he did trash a whole house.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
But he's not evil.
he's still just Sprout.
Yeah, he's-
Sprout, admittedly, is probably the best character in the movie. He is really, really funny in his own pathetic way, but he's not
pathetic. There
really
we
a
go.
villain. He's
He's
an
funny,
antagonist.
Pathetic.
He's not a villain. I
I would say he has
I
a
won't
bad
give him the
mother.
respect of
He
calling
probably
him
had
a
a bad
We know full
upbringing.
well he's not going to be a major overarching villain in the series. There's just no way that's going to
And
happen.
I really
that leaves a
hope
big gap
he
for
isn't
new
a
cool
villain in the
villains,
show.
powerful villains,
Like,
villains with better
hopefully he's
motives,
just a background pony.
villains who aren't mama's boys.
And finally, number 10.
We want it to be popular. Now, this sounds like a strange one, but this is important. If it's not popular, it'll get cancelled. Anyway, what do you think to this list? What do you
Well,
want to
I mean,
see
it needs
in
to
the
deserve
G5 series?
its
Please let us
popularity,
know
I'd
everything
say.
you want to see and everything you don't want to
Something
see in
just
the comments
being
below.
popular to-
Obviously,
Oh,
there's
you
lots of
see,
specific things we could get
I
into
just
as well, but
noticed
this is
the
just like a
eyes,
general list
like,
of
they're
ideas,
like the
things that are
gem.
broad.
So I guess she's
we
a
could get
crystal
very
pony.
detailed. There's some more detailed ones that got cut
but-
out of our notes. Definitely.
If you'd like to see more predictions or more about the upcoming series,
Yeah, I would
just let us
say
know that too. And of course,
popularity.
if you enjoyed this video, don't
I
forget
guess
to
that
give
could
it
be a
big
good
old thumbs
hope to
up
have,
and
because
subscribe for
I
more
guess
pony
that
content.
It's.
Bye.
I hope that when they meant popularity, not just the fact. Here we go. Emily Fever and Cleo Luna. There we go. Oh. God, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, popularity. If it's popular because the show is good, that's good. If it's popular just because it's a popular name, then I mean, the show being popular doesn't do anything for me. I mean, there's no benefit for me, you know, if the show is shit. Like, then I don't care if it's popular. Even if if the show is good, then I could be like, you know what? Then I would want it to be popular for the same reason, because then that would mean we would get more. And then when the show gets bad, because nothing is always good, it will always degrade. And maybe it will rise up and then degrade, rise up, degrade, and every time it degrades 2 levels and it rises up 1 level. So you have a show, maybe it starts like that, it goes up, and then down, up, down, up. That's basically what happened to G4. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't think I have much to say about this video. Other than the fact that I agreed with like most of it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, Alexander, I agree with a lot of their points. Well, I guess their hopes, not necessarily their points. They said something about that I think he had heard that it might be 3D. Like, and then what does that entail? What does that mean? Is it going to be 3D like they said, like Thomas and Friends? Jesus Christ, that looks horrific. Or Miraculous Ladybug, which sometimes is really good, sometimes bad. I would not want to see ponies in that type of 3D style. But the thing is, 3D, what does that mean? You know, like, because it all depends on the art style, let's say. That's the most important. I mean, for example, one of my favorite shows of all time, well, you not actually two of my favorite shows of all time. One is Kemono Friends, season 1 of Kemono Friends, not season 2. Season 2 was bad. But season 1 of Kemono Friends, horrific animation. The animation is not good at all. But the art style and the character designs so good that I don't really care that much about animation quality. I care more about art style and how things, like, if it looks good. Then if things are a bit choppy or whatever, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter as much. But it is a bonus, obviously. Even though I would rank Kemono Friends as a 10 out of 10 show, the animation could be better, but it's still perfect in my mind. Then, on the flip side of that, Hoseki no Kuni, or I think Land of the Lustrous in English, is another one of my favorite shows of all time. Oh god, I really hope the comic or manga. There's one chapter left. There's one chapter left, and I don't know how many. It feels like it's been like a year, and we're still waiting for that last chapter. The woman who writes I think it's a woman. Oh god, the woman who writes the comic. I think she took a break from it because it's really good. Both the show and the comic, amazing. But that 3D in that show is so beautiful. It's so flowing. The animation is really good. The art style is amazing. So 3D could be really good. Yeah. So that's pretty much, I guess, my thoughts. I do not have positive thoughts of G5, like the show, nor do I have negatives. It's just like the movie was for me. It's straight in the middle, and we'll see what the show entails. I actually have no idea when the show comes out. Let's see. Often Equestria Daily used to... Let's see. Okay, their countdown says nothing. So I guess there is no... the first thing I see is like Chris Cox. The CEO of Hasbro, I guess. Or Wizard. Who cares? Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.